Hello children, how are you all? This is Sridevi from Thala Padmavati International School, Varangal. Today we are going to learn part 2 from grade 8, that is Indian Constitution. In the first part we heard about the formation of Indian Constitution, what is the time period taken during its formation. We heard about the important people, and we have come to know about the architect of the Indian Constitution, who was called as the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and we heard much more about the unique features of our Indian Constitution, the preamble, Indian National Congress, and many more. We heard about the equality, liberty, and freedom of our Indian Constitution, and much more. Now, in this part, we are going to learn about the main pillars of the Indian Constitution. In this part 2, let us know about the Indian Constitution, where they stand for the country's development, citizens' comfortability, life, and much more. And this is in the image you can see, this is the real picture of Indian Constitution, the book which was being kept in the Parliament. Now let us start with the first about federalism. What is federalism? It means that if there is more than one level of government like local, state, and center, while each state enjoys autonomy in terms of power, subjects of national concern require that all the state follow central government laws, also state as agent of central government. All states follow central government laws, also state as agents of central government. And in parliamentary form of government, which is another pillar of our Indian Constitution, is about which guarantees the universal adult franchise and suffrages for all citizens. People have the role in election as elective representatives. It encourages the democracy and break clutches of caste, class, and gender. Now let us know about the separation of powers. Each organ performs different functions and check another organ, maintaining a balance between them. Executive is implements laws and run government. Judiciary system of courts, and legislative which elects the representatives. Now when we talk about fundamental rights are referred to as conscience of Indian Constitution, which guard against misuse of state powers, protect citizens against arbitrary and absolute power. Every citizen must claim it and must bind on every authority that has power to make laws. As you all know, the important fundamental rights: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to constitutional remedies, you can see in the image, right to equality, which is showing rule of law. No one is discriminated. Every individual citizen, though he belongs to any caste, creed, or religion, do not have right to discriminate. According to court of law, right to equality is the status given to each and every one being a citizen of the country with no such difference of discrimination, which gives the equal status to every person on basis of equality against religion, caste, gender, etc. Then comes with the right to freedom. This includes the right to freedom of speech and expression, the right to form associations, the right to move freely and reside in any parts of the country, and the right to practice any profession, occupation, or business. You can see in the image, children, right to choose any occupation. Every individual citizen is having the freedom of life. He or she can live according to their choice, according to their life, and according to their comfortability all over the country within India. No such restrictions are being kept either by a government or else an individual person. So right to freedom is one of the fundamental right which gives the importance to all its citizens in the country. Uh, Not only based on the living conditions, even the equal status is given according to their lifestyle, language, anything it may be. So right to freedom is to live with no discrimination. Right against exploitation. The Constitution prohibits human trafficking, forced labor, and employment of children under 14 years of age. So, no child is being forced to work, no untouchability, or else no person is forced for work. So, such type of human trafficking is banned in our India according to the Indian constitutional law and according to the fundamental right, which is about specially for right against exploitation. No individual person is having the right to dominate any other person or forcing the children or forcing the children below the 14 years of age to work for the source of income is no way acceptable in our country, as they are being encouraged to educate themselves. And when comes with the another right, cultural and educational right, the constitution states that all minorities, religious or linguistic, can set up their own educational institutions in order to preserve and develop their own culture. No individual person is having the right to object it. Right to conserve culture, language, or spirit. Everybody can express their own opinion, express their own living condition, express their own ideas according to court of law or according to the constitutional law based on fundamental rights. Minorities, even you can see in the image, which can be strictly ordered by the government not to oppress them. Then let us know about right to freedom of religion. Religious freedom is provided to all citizens, as you all know, and every person has the right to practice or profess and progress the religion of their choice. India is a place of unity in diversity, as you all know. Different religions, different customs, different festivals, different culture is being celebrated in our country. So with that only we can say that our country India is a place for unity in diversity, where this is also one of the right involved in our fundamental rights according to the court of law and constitutional law, which was being implemented as one of the fundamental right. And right to freedom of religion, which shows that there's a scope of living all the religions living in our country. Every person got a right to live according to his religion. No person is having the right to object him or dominate him or to misguide him to change his caste or religion. Based on this right to freedom of religion, India is being considered as a secular country, where it is a place of many religions in our India, where you can see Christianity, Hinduism, Islamism, Buddhism, Jainism, Parsis, and many more such religions, which are given the equal status to every person, though they belongs to any religion or caste. There is no discrimination of such restrictions in our country. Cultural and educational rights. The Constitution states that all minorities, religions, or linguistic can set up their own educational institutions in order to pursue and develop their own culture. So there is no rule for any student or individual to live according to their choice. They have a freedom of their cultural life, they have a freedom of educational right. Every individual citizen, every individual child have the right to educate themselves based on the rule or the law which was implemented in our country. No person is having the right to object the student not to educate themselves or not to go to school. So it is a one of the restriction or the fundamental right which gives the support for education according to constitutional law. Right to constitutional remedies. This is one of the other fundamental right of our Indian constitution. This allows a citizen to move the court if they believe that any of their fundamental rights have been violated by the state. If any orders, self orders are being created, or rules are being created within the country without obeying the laws of the central government, or not obeying the constitutional laws, that a particular person is being ordered not to do such things. No person is having the right to violate the central government, or no person is having the right to violate the constitutional laws. So judiciary is the guardian of our fundamental rights. As I told you, exploitation, detention, forcing them, these all such activities. If in case any person faces such situations, being a citizen of our country, he or she is having the right to go to the court or the judiciary to protect or control or take the help from the government, and preserve or protect their fundamental rights. Every individual is given such right to protect themselves and utilize their fundamental rights given by the government. So no individual person is having such right to break the laws in our country. So these are the fundamental rights, lay the foundation of democracy. Based on democracy, all such fundamental rights are being created, are being involved, are being interpreted in the Indian Constitution, so that every citizen have a comfortable and peaceful life in our country. And when comes with the pillars, let me know about the directive principles of state policy. Directive principles of state policy is one of the section which was designed to ensure greater social and economic reform. Directive principles are the supportive guidelines for the Constitution of India, which helps to take action according to the situations and make reasonable changes, and make a comfortable formation of Indian Constitution. And directive principles are very good support for the Indian Constitution. They help in many issues related to the country's development, which regards and supports the people in a very good manner, which is a major protective part of Indian Constitution. And when comes with another thing, the secularism. Secularism is also one of the pillar which officially does not promote any one religion. As you know very well, just now we have heard about secularism in the freedom of religion, that is fundamental right. It promotes any of the religion. Everyone would be independent and would have the right to practice their own religion, and therefore we say India as a secular state. So Indian Constitution does not say that practice Hinduism or Islam or any other religion. So therefore we call it as secular form of government in India. So there are all these are all called as the pillars of the Indian Constitution. Apart from these pillars of the Indian Constitution, we have a few more very important things. Now coming to the fundamental rights and details, which are completely related with the fundamental rights. So as you all know that fundamental rights according to our Indian Constitution are being declared with the articles which are being involved in it. So under this right to equality, we have different articles, and these different articles would concern different aspects. In the news there was about right to privacy. Recently, in last 1-2 years back, we have an information about right to privacy, which was under the Article 21, is considered that it is integral part of life and liberty. So under right to equality, we have Article 14, which means equality before law. Article 15 means prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, or a place of birth. So Article 16 says that equality of opportunities in matters of public employment. Article 17 says to abolition of untouchability, and Article 18 is about abolition of titles. Many such right to freedom, in which Article 19 is allowed about prohibition of certain rights regarding freedom of speech, etc. Article 20 says protection in respect of conviction of offences, and Article 21 says that protection of life and personal liberty and right to privacy, and Article 21 is about right to education. Article 22 is about protection against arrest and detention in certain cases. Now, when it comes about Article 23, which says for prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor, and Article 24 is also about prohibition of employment of children in factories, etc. So this is all about Constitution of India Part 2, children. Hope you understood. Go through the lesson continuously. That's all, children. Have a nice day. Thank you.